Welcome children. Preeti Agrawal, your English teacher. We are here for the revisional classes of your UT2, and of course this will be in this class. This session will be in two parts. First we will do the revision of literature and after that grammar. Okay. In the previous class, the children they were demanding for the quiz. So at the end of the class, I have arranged a quiz also for you all. You have to participate. I know you all eagerly wait for the quiz because it tells how much you have learned. No, that is your learning outcome. And in this way, that will be a practice also just before your unit test. And that quiz will be including the chapter the exercise book and non-finite forms. Invictus chapter earlier we had done, there is no need, and conjunction chapter also in the previous class on the very first day we had already done the quiz on the chapter conjunction. Okay, this exercise book and your non-finite was left, which I have arranged for you, especially for you children today. Let's start our class. Okay, let me set. Okay, again, I welcome my children. See, revisional class. Now we are starting from the chapter Invictus. The revision, the central idea, if you remember, I had given you earlier the meaning of Invictus. Unconquered, a poem by William Ernest Henley. You remember what was the moral of the poem? Challenges in life can be overcome with strong will and determination. That was the moral. What was the central idea? Do you remember? See from here, the central idea of the poem is the resilience of the human spirit in the face of extreme personal suffering. Resilience means the person who can win over his mental ability. Okay, so human spirit in the face of extreme personal suffering. Actually, what was there in the poem that Henley, the poet, Henley actually wrote the poem after having a leg amputated. Amputated means the leg was cut off due to complications from tuberculosis. Tuberculosis, he was suffering from a disease right from his childhood. No, this tuberculosis of bone, this disease he was suffering. So complications came. So due to complication, his one of the leg was amputated. Okay, and after this, the poet became not only sad, but he was thinking that right from the childhood I am suffering, just I am passing through all these hardships, but then also I am not able to accept the defeat. So poet's entire life, his entire literary reputation means whatever he has written, that all his name and fame rest on these few lines. Invictus. There are 4 stanzas in Invictus. So what is the central idea? That one should not give up. One must keep one's willpower strong and unconquered by anyone. One must look for the solutions for overcoming the troubles of the life. At this stage, what is important is to feel strong, to keep the head up and fight with such troubles. This is our central idea. The poet has also told that the fate and destiny, they will try to scare us. They will try to make us afraid when we are in the problem. So our fate and destiny will try to scare us. But what is most important? The most important thing is to stay unafraid. We should always face the problem without getting afraid. So, the poet William Ernest Henley has given this in the stanzas. See, in the first stanza, what was there? The first stanza, he uses the night. as a symbol, no, symbol of darkness, symbol of sufferings, heart, pain. So he is just telling in the first stanza that night is covering to him and he is thanking God for his unconquerable soul. What is in the second stanza? In the second stanza, the poet tells that the severe blows dealt by the fate under the bludgeoning of chance means severe blows. Severe blows dealt by fate means continuously he is getting the severe blows one after another. But still, when the poet is getting these blows, then also the poet will not show his what to say, he will not get afraid, he will not show his anger or pain. Okay. I have not winced nor cried aloud. It means that the poet, winced means when we are jerking with pain. So poet will not show, okay, his pain, and poet will not express his grief even when he had to suffer great pain. This was in the second stanza. In the third stanza, the poet has lot of anger and pain regarding the hospital, regarding the place. Okay, beyond this place of wrath and tears. Wrath means that extreme anger, and tears means suffering. So he has lot of anger and pain. Looms but the horror of the shade means at the place of living, wherever he is living, the place may be the hospital also, the place may be this word also. Okay, the poet may be talking about this word also. So the poet is telling that there is the horror of the shade, means just after this place, the death of terror. Horror of the shade means death of the terror is lying outside, but he will not be afraid. He will be unafraid. In the fourth stanza, the poet tells about the challenges, okay, in our life. He is telling that every man have an unconquerable spirit, and we should never forget that we are the master of our fate and captain of our soul. He is saying that it matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. Straight means here narrow. Gate means here the life's gate. So poet is telling that the life's gate is very narrow. Whose life's gate? Poet's life gate is very narrow. But then also he is telling that how much punishment I will be getting, I will not accept the defeat because I am the master of my fate and I am the captain of my soul. That was in the fourth stanza. So that is all about your the chapter Invictus. If you want to know more in detail, of course, you have to go to my previous classes. The links are given there. You can go through the link, and in detail, I have explained all the four stanzas along with the central idea, the tone, figure of speech, rhyme scheme, everything I have explained in detail. If you want to know, go through the link again. Clear? Now, the second chapter, the exercise book. The exercise book by Rabindranath Tagore. What was there in this chapter? Do you remember the moral? Yes. The moral of the chapter, the message of the chapter was in this way that men and women should get equal opportunity, equal right to education. The author Rabindranath Tagore has tried to reform the society. What type of society? The contemporary society. Contemporary means the society of that time when these social evils were there in the society. What were the social evils? That women were not given the right to education and the girls were married at the early age. Okay. See what is there. I will be giving you the summary. Uma, a little girl, was extremely enthusiastic about writing. Uma, a little girl is there, no? And she was just very excited after she learned to write. So she was very much excited and every time she wanted to write. So what she did, she wrote on walls, in her father's account book, and on her brother's paper. Finally, what happened? This habit landed her in trouble. What type of trouble? Her brother Govindlal punished her severely, but why Govindlal punished? Do you know? Because Uma wrote across the essay of Govindlal. So, but after a while, feeling remorseful, he gave her a notebook to pacify her. Pacify her means just to uh, pacify the little girl. Gobind Lal gave the notebook as a present, an exercise book. Who gave? Gobind Lal. And he was not knowing that unwittingly I am helping, I am promoting the little girl to this reading and writing. He was not knowing. Gobind Lal was not knowing. So he just presented the exercise book. The notebook became a record of Uma's fleeting thoughts. No, the notebook became an inseparable companion to Uma. Every time Uma was keeping that notebook along with her and began to write first of all the poems and after that her fleeting thoughts. After a few years, Uma was married. At the time when she was beaten by her brother, she was 7 years old. And at the time of marriage, she was almost 9 years old. So Uma was married to Pyare Mohan. In her husband's home, no other girl knew how to read or write. Nobody was knowing how to read and write because the females were not allowed to learn. Okay, reading and writing, they were not allowed. They were not given permission at the contemporary society because that was a prejudice against female education. And that's why no other females, they were knowing how to read and write, but Uma was knowing how to read and write. So Uma unfortunately had her notebook also because Yashi, when she came along with Uma to her in-laws' home, why Yashi came? Just to settle down Uma in her new home. So Yashi brought the exercise book also. So Uma fortunately had her notebook also, but she could seldom write in it. She was not allowed to write, and that too behind closed doors. She was not allowed, so she used to shut the door, and after that she used to write secretly so that no one can saw her. But what happened? She was caught in the act of writing by her sister-in-law Tilak Manjari. Tilak Manjari caught the girl, caught Uma. No, she just peeped through the crack of the door. And after that, what happened? Tilak Manjari reported the matter to her brother Pyare Mohan. Who reported? Tilak Manjari reported to Pyare Mohan. Now the contemptuous, haughty and prejudiced young man, these three adjectives have been used just before Pyare Mohan. Because he was contemptuous means he didn't like, he hate these learning that the female should learn how to read and write. So he was full of hate. So the haughty means he was proud, very proud, and prejudiced. Prejudiced means whenever we form our opinion without any reason, without any cause, without knowing the truth. So he was a prejudiced young man, an orthodox young man. Who? Pyare Mohan. And Gobind Lal was also the same. So the contemptuous, haughty and prejudiced young man, what he did? He snatched away her exercise book forever. Forever means Pyare Mohan did not return the exercise book again. Once Gobind Lal also snatched the not exercise book. Gobind Lal snatched the writing materials. No, if you remember. But after that, Gobind Lal returned. And along with the writing materials, he gave the exercise book also. But this time, when Pyare Mohan is snatched, he never returned the exercise book. So the whole chapter gives us the reformist plea. He is urging to the society. He is just presenting his plea. He is requesting to the society that women should also be given the equal opportunities to education, means equal right to education, just like men. And this story is of just before 20th century. Now we all are getting the equal opportunity, but then also, as this is a story, we have to go through it. Okay, I hope you have understood both the chapter Invictus and the exercise book. Okay, now children, the main ideas of this story is in this way: exploring gender inequality in the social fabric and its consequences. Means, in the story, this is the main idea, that the gender inequality has been explored in the social fabric. Means, what are the results, what are the consequences when there is gender inequality? Consequences means result. So result, we have seen the result also in the chapter, that Uma, she was beaten, she was married and was insulted, no, humiliated. So these all are the results of gender inequality. And developing empathy. The second main idea is developing empathy for the girl child who has been deprived of her rights. The author wants to develop the emotions, the empathy for the little girl Uma, which already the emotions were there, means the sympathy. We all have a sympathy for Uma because she was not given the right to education. Who has been deprived of her rights means she was not given the right to education. The third main idea is acknowledging the need for education both for girls and boys. So the chapter gives us this idea also, that there is a need for education both for the girls and for the boys. So these are the main ideas which you should remember. Okay. Now let's start the quiz, for which our children are eagerly waiting. Now listen, before starting, what you have to do, you have to choose the correct option. As earlier in the previous classes we had done, you remember? So in the same way, you have to choose the correct option, but today I am not going to read the options. I will be reading only the questions. And after listening the question, your time will start automatically. And what you have to do, you have to count 10 to 12 seconds only yourself, and after that stop writing yourself, stop giving the answer, stop responding. Okay, and when you have responded, you can write done. Okay, is it clear to you what you have to do? You have to choose the correct option. It means that you have to choose only number A, B, C or D. Only this much you have to write. Do not write the full answer. Only A, B, C and D you choose. And when will you choose? When I will stop reading the question. Is it clear? Okay. Whatever more questions you want to ask regarding the chapter Invictus or regarding the chapter exercise book, of course, you can ask here. Okay, I will be replying you. I will be replying everything along with the this answer of the quiz. Okay, so let's start. First question, how did Govind Lal punish Uma? Read all the four options and just write down number A, B, C or D, whatever you think the answer is correct. Your time has started. Start giving your answers. Start responding. I'm waiting. Okay. How did Govind Lal punish Uma? You all have read the chapter. Your answer should be correct because you are going to appear in your UT2 test. And in UT2 examination, in this unit test 2, these types of question, I'm not telling the same question is coming. Any other question will be there, but in the same way you will get the question. Okay, okay. Stop giving your answer. Correct. If you have given the answer, okay, it's correct. Now let's check what is the answer. All of the above. How did Govind Lal punish Uma? Govind Lal punished the Uma by beating her, by taking away her pencil stub, and by taking away her blunt ink stained pen. So these all three options are correct. But if you are giving only one option, any one option, your answer will be incorrect because all the three options are correct. And in question number D, it is written there all of the above. So you should choose only D option. And if you have chosen D, very good, well done. Okay. Now let's proceed to the second question. And again, as soon as I finished reading my question, you will start giving your answer by choosing the correct option. Clear? One more thing, children. And there are some children, those who just want to play the games and all these things in the mid of the class. So it's not good. It just disturbs the class. And of course, those children, those students will be punished severely if they dare to do these type of things again. Don't share any of the games or any unnecessarily or unimportant thing apart from the academics. Be serious towards your study. These all pages which you are seeing, these all slides, whatever your teacher has made, that has been made after the hard work, and you should respect the teacher's hard work because these all I have made especially for you children. Okay, and I have tried to make it interesting so that you may learn in playing. See the second question. Govind Lal unwittingly encouraged Uma's literary efforts by unwittingly, without knowing, means he without using his brain, encouraged Uma's literary efforts by, all the four options are given there. Go through it and give your answer. I will wait for your answer. Start giving your response. And accept of the response, don't share any unimportant things. Otherwise, I will not conduct the quiz again. I will not do the hard work for you children. These all questions which you are seeing, these questions are not easy to make. Okay. But then also I have made these questions only for you. So participate in it and try to get the benefit. Unwittingly encouraged Uma's literary efforts by, out of the four options, let's see which one is correct. Have you given your answer? Okay, stop giving your answer now. And the correct one is both A and B. Means Govind Lal encouraged Uma's literary efforts. What are the literary efforts? Means her reading and writing. She was trying to read and write. She was trying to write on the wall, on the father's account book, on brother's essay, across the brother's essay. So these all were the efforts. So Govind Lal encouraged unwittingly these efforts. How he had encouraged? Returning to her the things. What were the things? The writing materials. No, he returned, and by giving her a stout exercise book. So these two mistakes Govind Lal did. He was not knowing that this will encourage Uma's literary efforts. But he did this because he author had given us this also, that he was writing the pompous essay without any logic. It means that he was not very intelligent. Govind Lal was not very intelligent, and that's why he unwittingly encouraged Uma's literary efforts by these two things. Both A and B answers are correct. I hope you have understood. Okay. Next question. Pyare Mohan believed if women began to what? Novels would make their way into the home. Go through and write down your options. Is it attractive, children? Yes, this slide I have made the attractive one, especially for my children. See, choose the correct option and write down. I don't want my children just to mug up the answer and give their exam. What I want that you should understand the whole chapter, and that will be very easy for you to give the answers. And this is the only way to make you understand. And that's why I have just made this quiz for you. Okay. Okay, your time is over now. Now let's see the answer. Both B and C. Pyare Mohan believed if women began to read and write and think and ponder, both the answers are correct. So, novels would make their way into the home, means they will start reading the novel, and in this way, they will not be able to maintain the purity of the house. And that was the conservative thought, orthodox young man. This Pyare Mohan was orthodox young man, no prejudiced young man, and that's why he believed in these type of things. These types of things are not true, but Pyare Mohan believed that if women began to read and write and think and ponder, novels would make their way into the home. Next question: by whom were Uma's literary efforts thwarted forever? Means who had tried Uma's literary efforts just to snatch away forever, just to stop forever. Who was the person? Forever. I have used the word forever. Think, and then give the answer. Yes, you have to think carefully and give your answer. There were Govindlal also. These all characters were there. Tilak Manjari, Pyare Mohan, Yashi. But who was the only person who thwarted forever Uma's literary efforts? Yes. Okay. Okay. Now I am just showing you the answer. The answer is Pyare Mohan. Correct if you have given the same answer. This question was not easy. It was a tough one. Very good. Well done for those who have given the correct answer. Because Pyare Mohan, when he snatched the exercise book, he never returned. And in this way, Uma's literary efforts were stopped forever. Forever means for, or means she was not able to get her exercise book again. And that's why Pyare Mohan will be the correct answer. The theme of the short story, The Exercise Book by Rabindranath Tagore, focuses on. Start giving your answer. Go through the option and give the answer. Yes. What is the theme of the story? According to these options, you have to give the theme. Okay. Uh, According to the given options. Let's see the answer. Gender inequality is the correct answer. The theme of short story, The Exercise Book by Rabindranath Tagore, focuses on gender inequality. Although there are two themes, but in this option, whatever options are given there, whatever theme is given there, whatever options are given there, according to that, you have to choose your answer. So here only one theme is given there. So you choose only that theme, gender inequality. Okay, this is one of the theme, that women were not given the equal right to education. So that is inequality. So that was the theme. Now sixth question, you have to fill here. This is regarding your non-finite. You have to fill here one of the non-finite form of verb. In a brocade sari, her face veiled, Uma went weeping to her husband's house. Hurry up, our time is about to over, children. We got only 30 minutes. Yes, hurry up. Fast, give your answer fast. A, B, C, and D. Okay. Now I am just showing you the answer. Draped. Draped in a brocade sari. Grabbed. What type of non-finite form it is? If you want, you can write your answer. If you can identify, yes, if you are identify, hurry up, write down what type of non-finite form it is. Although we will do the revisional class of non-finite also, but right now, if you want, you can write. Yes, it is your past participle. In past participle, we use third form of the verb, and this is your past participle form. Correct? Next, again, the participle is there. Fill the correct participle. Through a cracked door, Tilak Manjari saw that Uma was writing something. Hurry up. A, B, C, and D. Fast, fast. Give your answer fast, children. You have to run fast. Make it fast. Yes, now see your answer. Peeping. Peeping is your present participle. Peeping through a cracked door. It is your present participle. Okay. Now see the next question. She made us. Here you have to fill the correct infinitive for a while. Infinitive. Which infinitive can be there according to you? Hurry up. A, B, C, and D. Make it fast. Give your responses. Just type your responses fast, children. Okay, now I cannot wait. I am just showing you the answer. See, wait. Wait is your infinitive, means bare infinitive, which is used without to. Here, wait infinitive has been used. Why? Because our made word is written there. And that is also one of the such verbs of perception, such verbs after which we do not write to. And that also I will be giving you in detail in the next class, that why wait is written there. Okay, the bare infinitives, the present infinitive, the perfect infinitive, everything I will give you in the next class. See the ninth one. My friend advised going for a walk at the beach. You have to pick up the gerund in the given sentence. Hurry up. A, B, C, or D. According to you, which one, which in this sentence, which is the gerund? Which particular word is gerund? Going for, going, advised, or walk? Okay, now let's see the answer. That is going. Because gerund, it always ends in ing, V1 plus ing. See the last question. This question was asked by a student. You have to fill a rock. Nobody likes you. This is your correlative conjunction, and you have to fill. Yes, Rishabh, I remember the name. Rishabh, are you watching it? Rishabh, I am giving your answer only. Okay, because that type of question was there in your this mock test, no? Mock test, and you were confused. And I remember one name, Rishabh. He asked the question that, ma'am, why we will use this, not this? Okay, so this is the answer. See, your answer will be such that you are such a rock that nobody likes you. After such, we use a rock, means after a, that I will be giving you in detail, but here you listen that after such, we write a rock. Rock means a bad person, the rascal. So after a means after the article, we always write our noun. Okay, so whenever any article comes, a or the comes, after that we write our noun or pronoun, and after that we write, means such is always followed by that. Clear? Means if we are writing such here, after such we will write that only here. So here we will write such, we will not write so. Why? Because a rog is your noun. So just before noun we write such. Clear? More I will give you in detail in my next class. But I hope you have understood this. Okay? And that child has got the answer. Okay? Who was asking? Okay, children, that was enough. Thank you for joining, and I hope you have enjoyed the class. Let's meet